guys, as you saw earlier, we had a quick overview from the outside and also with the engine. We're now in the back seats, very comfortable here, and very, as you can see here in Somaliland, Hargeisa, that's where we're at now. This is the place where it's going to be the future. But anyway, back to Nomad Rides. Okay, comfortable seats. Some of the Landcruisers, which is the J80 version, has some seats in the back, but this one doesn't have it. But that doesn't stop people here in Somaliland jumping in the back if needed for emergency. But it's very comfortable here. See, the driver's seat in front of me is in my position. I'm in the back. I got lots of room space. I still got good clearance. Maybe for some tall people taller than me, they might struggle. But hey, it's a Landcruiser. It's designed to take stock of people and weight. It's good here, handlebar. And don't forget, this is what, a 90, 93, 94, and it still has electric windows in the back. And you can see some of the cars I reviewed in the past, they still didn't even have that. So Toyota, Japanese, they're always well in advance. What else can I say? Very comfortable here, easily can take 3 people. There's no transmission tunnel here on the bottom for you to worry about. So even if you were skinny enough, you can fit 4 people in the back. I know in the UK that's not legal, but in Somaliland we still haven't yet put that law yet. So if you can able to put people in the back, I don't see no issues here in the middle. But yeah, that's basically it now and nothing else. I'm gonna go for a quick test drive. You can check out Hargeisa while I do that. And then, like always, if you're from here, give me a shout out. Tell me if you have your own Landcruiser. But you'll notice with this car is different. It's a manual. This is a rare Easter egg here in Somaliland. You don't find that many Landcruiser which are manual. So they're kind of gold dust here. Okay, so now let's go for a quick spin. Okay guys, we're gonna take this for a spin drive. And the first thing you'll notice, as you can see here, I ain't got no seatbelt. Okay, there's really no need to have a seatbelt here in Somaliland, unless when you go in between cities, because then that's when you'll be doing 80 kilometers and above. But yes, here we are. It's it's after Asr, which is basically around 4ish here in the UK, Somaliland, okay? Because we don't get this much sunshine in the UK. Anyway, this is a 4.2 engine diesel, pretty powerful. It can overtake. I find it, how would you say, when I'm climbing up mountains, it can take up any load. That's pretty good. Whilst we're taking it for a spin drive, this is the first time Nomad Ride is up in Somaliland. You can see how the city has changed. We are in an area called Balchir, which is apparently the place where the future president is going to be building his future presidential palace. But that's yet to be confirmed. But yeah, I didn't want to go travel in Hargeisa because we're going to be stuck in traffic for about 2 hours. It's becoming like London, crazy London. At this rate, we're going to have a congestion charge. But yeah, the car drives, like I said before, it's a manual. It shifts pretty comfortable. And the good thing about manual here in Africa, why people love manual Landcruisers, is that they can last for ages. Automatic, sometimes there's some mechanics that they don't know actually how to fix automatic. But with Toyota, they are king of the desert, king of Africa. They can handle any kind of terrain. If it's cold, if it's hot, that's what they're designed for. And this car has been since 2003 when it's been brought in, and it still looks as good as the day when it was first bought. So that's basically it. I mean, that's a quick summary. I mean, for Somaliland, if you're ever going to move to Africa, or if you're going to come to Somaliland, then I would recommend you to take a Landcruiser, even if you can't afford this bad boy, because you can get the cheaper version, the Prado, which they still call it a Landcruiser. But for Somaliland, you need to also remember they're changing the law. So now I've come to the end of this road, so I'm going to come back to where we come from. As you can see, this is where all the buses, the terminus, as they say. So yeah, coming back to the car you need in Africa, it has to be a 4x4. Because unfortunately, yet Somaliland, even though we pay road tax, we still don't have good roads. Okay, now I don't want to get into politics, but we're back to Nomad Rides. So yeah, basically, Landcruiser is what you need. The Toyota Landcruiser Prado, I've seen some good deals here in the UK. You can pick up a 2003 for about 6,000 or 7,000. But rumor is actually next year they're going to change the law, so you won't be able to bring a right-hand vehicle into the country or a left-hand vehicle, which means if you are going to buy a 4x4, you buy it in Dubai, which is cheaper, and you get some good condition. The problem with Japanese cars, especially in the UK, because we have salt on the road, if you export them from the UK and you bring them to Somaliland, by the time they get here, because they stop in Saudi Arabia and all that, the sea salt will just damage. So if you're gonna send a car, make sure you spray that underbody sealant. That actually makes the car last longer. I had unfortunately the experience where I exported a Pajero, which was a cheaper Landcruiser, and by the time I got it, it was all rotten. So lesson learned, make sure you guys don't repeat the same mistake. So basically, back to the whole Landcruiser. This same car, when I try to find the same, because one point I was thinking of getting this one and I use it for spares, you're looking at about £9,000. They still hold their value. I mean, even in the UK, the only time they sell a Landcruiser is when they buy themselves a new Landcruiser. And Toyota now have to up their game because the new 4x4s have some cool toys. But people know when you buy a Landcruiser, they last long. Okay, we're now stuck behind a Suzuki, the Skoda, which is going to be our next Nomad ride in the future. So yeah, but anyway, back to the Landcruiser, the king of the cars in the 4x4. And like the other, how would you say, people say you can pretend to love a Land Rover, pretend to love other cars, but Landcruiser are still king. So yeah, that's basically it. I think that's kind of a quick summary. For Nomad Rides, you're going to see some weird and wonderful cars you don't see normally in the UK. I'm trying to hustle an owner to get me his Toyota Mark X. So that's a unique car. That's like a hybrid of a Lexus and a Toyota, don't get me wrong, but can't wait to try that out. But yeah, and the next car might be a Suzuki Jeep, which is what we know as a Vitara. But for the Landcruiser, this car, if you ever get one, make sure you never let it go, unless of course the thing is dead. But even then, you find mechanics who can fix it. This car can go on and on. It's like a Rolex. You can simply hand it down to your family line. So your son and your daughter, each of them will have this car, and it's needed in this day and age. And I like the shape, the J80. It's a bit chunky. It's a bit kind of an Arabic word. It's bulbous, or bulbous as they. I think they had a nickname for it in Colombia. They call it Barbuja or something, which because of the shape. I think the Arabic nickname is Alawi. I think the reason why, for those Egyptian fans out there, is because of the singer Layla Alawi, but who knows where it's come from. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Like always, don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit that bell notification. Until the next time, guys, peace and love. Take care.